Chapter 1. Buck is betrayed. One day that changed Buck's life began like every other day on Judge Miller's California estate. The judge called to him for an early morning walk, petting him briskly. "Good morning, Buck. How's my big dog?" the judge asked. For an answer, Buck tossed his large head, with its large, healthy gray fur. His size, 140 pounds, came from his father, a Saint Bernard, but it was his mother, a Scott Shepherd dog, who had given the large wolf-like shape to his nose and jaw. It has pictures. Buck and the judge visited the stables and the kennels, where smaller dogs eyed Buck enviously. The judge's two sons, wet from a swim in the pool, invited Buck into the water, but Buck preferred a dignified walk with his best friend, the judge. Their final stop was in the garden to see how the late autumn flowers were doing. "Here, Manuel," the gardener's helper smiled to him when he saw Buck. Only Manuel knew that this proud pet was having his last walk in the warm sun on Judge Miller's estate. After dinner, Buck laid at the judge's feet in front of the fireplace and watched the flames. The old man talked to him like another person, saying, "Buck, men are mad with gold fever. They're deserting their families, and running away north to the Klondike. They're not prepared for the battle, the bitter cold up there on the hardship of the half-civilized country." But even now, in 1897, some men, here's Manuel and the judge and Buck. Oh, and it says Manuel's evil plan at the bottom. Anyways, some men will do anything for money. And that same night, Manuel, beset by heavy gambling debt, proved how right the judge was. After the judge went to bed, Manuel called softly to Buck. Buck knew Manuel to be a friend and went to him. With a quick movement, Manuel doubled a rope around Buck's neck. Buck wore an expensive collar with his name and the judge's name on it, but he had never felt a coarse rope like this one around his neck before. He looked up at Manuel questioningly, but the man would not meet his gaze. Manuel gave the rope a tug and hurried out to the road that led past the gate of the estate. Buck obeyed and pulled on the Buck obeyed the pull on the rope and trotted beside him. There a car was waiting with its engine running. Manuel did not speak to the driver. He simply opened the back door and tugged Buck into the back seat with him. Buck. There's Manuel putting a rope around Buck's neck. Wait. Buck climbed in willingly. He loved a ride, but this one was over in a few moments. When Manuel hurried him out of the car, Buck realized the local train station. A burly man, almost twice the size of Manuel, was waiting in the shadows. You timed it pretty close, he complained. Train's due about now. I had to wait for the old man to go to bed, said Manuel. Where's my money? The big man was ready and immediately handed Manuel some money. Then he reached for the rope that held Buck. Buck growled softly, but the man did not retreat at the warning. He quickly seized the ropes ends from Manuel and gave them a slight twist in the middle of another growl. Buck found his breath cut off. Now angry, he tried to spring at the stranger. The men met him halfway, grabbing him by the collar and easily flipped him onto his back. Then the man tightened. The old man and Manuel and Buck. Then the man tightened the rope. Buck struggled, but felt his strength abating when he could not breathe. His eyes glazed and his cheeks heavy. His chest heaved in a desperate need for air. Then Buck slumped down on the station platform, unconscious. He did not hear the train stop or feel himself be lifted aboard. Now a nightmare began for Buck. The big man rode beside him in a baggage car. At Buck's first move towards him, he tightened the rope. Buck again knew nothing. In a daze, he felt himself being lifted off the train and pushed roughly into a cage. The cage was loaded into another train, and for two days and nights, Buck rode. No one fed him, and or gave him water. Soon he was sick from an inflammation I know the word. Inflammation in his parched throat. Buck had always been pampered by the judge, so he was shocked by the cruel treatment he was receiving from the big man. He was not quite unconscious from the rope. Unconscious from the rope twisting when he felt the man untying the rope. Buck gathered all his weak forces and bite down quickly on the cruel hand. The man drew back with a curse and gave Buck a kick in the ribs. A welcome blackness came to Buck along with the pain. Morning activity, bustling in the baggage car. Buck's cage was thrown carelessly into a car and delivered to a back room of a saloon. Buck lifted his sick head and looked around in amazement. The room was crammed with dogs in cages. All the dogs were large, but Buck was the largest. And in the middle of the room sat Morgan, the man in charge. He was not very tall, but he had wide, strong shoulders, soldiers, and most important of all, he had a club. This club, in Morgan's big fist, banged, began Buck's education for the new world he was entering. Buck biting the cruel man before getting kicked. Buck's education for the new world he was entering. Oh, it's new chapter anyways. My brain isn't. I think I'm done. It's not that bad of read compared to other books that I tried to read. Plus there's pictures. I found a book with pictures in it. So it's dumb. I'm sorry. What can I use for a bookmark? Me. That works.